You're listening to Potty Mouth Radio, the home of movies, music, television, and comedy. The following podcast contains spoilers and rude words. We watch a thing. We watch a thing. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to We Watched a Thing with your boys Billy and Dave. How you doing, mate?
I'm not Dave. I am Moana!
That's right. Let's get into it. I know that you've been very excited for this one. We are talking about Moana 2, a 2024 American animated musical adventure film produced by Walt Disney, of course. The sequel to Moana from 2016 and the second installment in the Moana franchise was directed by David Derrick Jr., Jason Hand, and Dana LeDoux Miller. So three directors, all in their directorial debut. Produced by Christina Chen and Yvette Mariner from a screenplay by Jared Bush and Miller. It does star Ali Cravalho, Dwayne Johnson, Tamura Morrison, Nicole Scherzinger, Rachel House, and Alan Tudyk from the first film, as well as Rose Matafeo, David Fain, and a couple of other people. And what is it about?
Irrelevant people. Well, we rejoin our titular Moana. I think a couple of years, after the events of the first film, where she is spending her days going off exploring from her home island to try and find other islander people.
Yep.
And ends up having some visions and shit and about the last great voyage of her people. And the island that he was seeking, which was shoved under the ocean by a nasty thunder god, and if they raise that island, then all the people can come back together again.
Yep.
Look, it's basically the story of the first film. You've got an
similar.
Angry god, you've got an island that needs to be raised, you've got a Maui, you've got a giant sea creature, clam instead of a crab this time. We've got a few extra characters thrown in for good measure, but essentially we're retreading the same ground, just without half of the talented people behind the scenes that the first film had.
Okay. So I'm curious to talk to you about this. I'm less curious now because now I feel more like you are on the same page as me. Because when we hit record on this, I said, I think this is going to be a short episode because I know what I have to say about this film. And
this one will be for sure. I was talking about the other one.
Okay.
This film is aggressively average.
It's worse than average.
Bad.
This is a bad movie.
Yeah.
Did you, when you went into the cinema to watch this, were you aware of the history of this film and how it came to be?
I knew it was originally Moana the series, and then apparently the bigwigs at Disney looked at the test footage and went, that shit's too good for a series. That belongs in theaters.
Yeah. So, because I didn't know that until I watched it, but immediately this movie just gave me huge Return of Jafar direct-to-video vibes. This was not produced as a cinematic feature, and it shows. It's about an hour 20 long. It's really quite short. The songs are abysmal, and there's maybe five of them.
No, there's more than that, and they are. So for people who aren't aware, Lin-Manuel Miranda is not attached to this. He was off busy doing stuff for Lion King Mufasa and didn't, know. And so who do you go to when you can't get Lin-Manuel Miranda? Well, the next best thing, obviously, are the two hacks behind the IP thieving Bridgerton musical who have done nothing else in their entire fucking career.
Yeah. The songs are crap.
It was. Is that seriously the only two options?
Yeah.
for people to write your songs?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
So I did not know that about the history, but do you know when they decided to make this a theatrical film, Dave? Instead of a TV series?
I mean, the thing's
March
been in gestation.
Of this year. March of this year. And before that, The Rock and Ali Cravalho weren't even attached. Of course, it was a TV series, so they were using, lesser actors.
Wow.
And it was only in March this year. Like, that is a quick turnaround.
I'm surprised. It looks okay.
Yeah, and that's what surprises me the most. I think it does, visually it looks good, but the script is dog shit.
Well,
The first
is
50
literally
minutes,
the first film.
the first 50 minutes though, The Rock he pops in like once every 20 minutes to say 3 lines. They're clearly
Hanging
trying to
upside
save
down
budget.
in a giant clam.
Yeah, they're clearly trying to save budget by just having less of The Rock because he's just not there. So they've added in all of these extraneous characters that she's
He
going
was
on
off
this
pissing
journey
in
with.
bottles on the Red One set.
So they've added in all of these just random characters for her to go on this adventure with.
Considering that, I'm assuming this was trimmed down from 6-7 hours to an hour 20. If it was a series,
who knows? You see, because
I don't know
it
whether
might
they
not have
made
been a
all of
full
that,
length
but-
series. Like
but
being a Disney
presumably
thing, maybe they were 10-minute episodes. Like Forky from Toy Story, he had a series on Disney Plus.
No, not with them. No, I mean, this aside, Moana is part of their great big resurgence trilogy of Tangled, Frozen, Moana, which was where they were just hitting it out of the park.
Which makes me question why they would rush this. This is my question, is that if they really saw the footage and went, you know what, Moana is too good to be a TV series, it should be a film, then they should have had the foresight to go, it's too good to be this cobbled together former TV series turned into film, and they should have just gone from scratch. Because 9 months of production for this film, honestly, it would have been less
they
than
rushed
that.
it out so they weren't competing with Mufasa. All I can think.
But give it longer. Like, Mufasa comes out in like a week. They're going to be competing with Mufasa anyway.
Yeah, true.
Like, Moana's not going to have long. Why would you drop this the week after Wicked and like a week or two before Mufasa? Rush it through production. Why? Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's doing well. It's making plenty of money. Like, it's a Moana sequel. It's going to make plenty of money. But it could have actually been a good film as well.
They needed the revenue in a particular quarter is all I can think. There's no other reason, as you say, because this thing is not getting good reviews.
No,
it'll make some money. It's not making the money that Frozen 2 made.
Oh, no.
And that this could have made if it
was a legit
as you say,
sequel.
stopped, gone, put the brakes on. We've got Mufasa. We've got this other shit. Let's just put a pin in this, go back to the drawing board, wait till we can get someone who can actually write songs attached to it. Because every single song, this makes Mean Girls look like Les Mis.
I'll tell you what though,
abysmal.
This movie's it's not good, but it is doing okay money. I am going to throw my hat out there and say that this movie is going to make more money and be better received than Mufasa. Mufasa's not making fucking money. No one's going to see Mufasa.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. But I think Mufasa. I actually think Mufasa won't be a shit film. I think it will be perfectly fine, on par with the first one. I.e., in fact, it may even be better because the major criticism of the first one is that
why do it? It's essentially
you've taken. I mean, live action inverted commas. Joke. You've taken a medium where you can put the whole point of doing animated things with animals is that you can give them emotion and character. You've removed that one element and you've basically got a David Attenborough wildlife documentary with voiceovers.
Yeah.
I think that they will inject more personality this time around because they will have taken some learnings and they will.
How much can you inject in that style, though?
I think they will tweak, and I didn't pay attention to the trailer that I saw. I think they will tweak the CG a little bit to give them sort of exaggerated facial features to get more emotion in. The only thing I can think. But it looks the CG looks spectacular, so I think it'll be better because Moana 2 is it's just, other than the visuals, the acting is mediocre. All of those new characters are so threadbare, they may as well not even fucking be there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Rose Matafeo is so criminally underused because she's... I don't know if you've seen Breaker Upper as the Kiwi film.
I have, yeah.
Surely, Hurley would have put you onto it as well.
It's mediocre, but it's fine.
But she is so charismatic and so funny.
Yeah.
And admittedly, of the three new characters, she's the one that actually has some personality, but none of them have got any reason for being there.
Oh, the farmer is...
The old guy comes in with his plants, and I'm thinking, oh, they must be something. They must do something with the plants later. No,
yeah.
There's no reason for them to be there. They don't eat them. They don't grow them. They don't do anything.
Yeah, none of the characters have any reason to be there. I mean, we haven't even spoken about the villain yet, talking about characters who have no reason to be there.
Oh, the god who we never see, other than the mid-credits scene.
The god who we never see, and the Bat Lady.
The Bat Lady, who ends up being a goodie, but...
Well, ends up being a goodie, but then you don't ever come back to that. You never see her again, yeah.
Oh, I will
Except
help
in the
you,
end
because
credits
if you do
scene.
this, I will finally be free. Never see her again.
Yeah.
Did you stay, or there was no way I was hanging around?
I did stay, because... I was going to ask...
on me there'd be a bloody mid-credit scene.
Me neither. The only reason I stayed is because I saw this with the kids, and I don't know about your kids. My youngest is 6, and so it got to the end, and she was like, "Oh, I want to dance at the front when the credit music plays." There's something that they like to, but she didn't want to do it while people were still in the cinema. So we had to walk down to the front and sit there and wait for everyone else to leave so that she could dance to the credit music.
Oh,
so
well, at least you got what's the crab's name? I've forgotten now.
Tamatoa?
That's it.
Yeah.
At least you got it, because it's him, isn't it? And the Thunder God hinting at a franchise to come or something.
I don't recall, honestly. I remember the Thunder God. I don't remember, and I remember the Bat Lady was in the post-credit scene.
Well, from what I read, not only do you have Jermaine Clement come in and say, hint at some sort of vengeance he's going to wreak, but the weirdest thing, and I find it so hard to believe, but I've read it in multiple places. In the background, you've got one of the characters from Zootopia.
Okay, I don't recall
which is the weirdest shared universe that they're attempting to cobble together.
Yeah.
I think it's the sloth. I think it's Gordon. Is that the sloth?
Okay.
Apparently
that
he's
doesn't
in the background.
That doesn't make any sense to me. That's bizarre. Yeah. So I meant to ask, did you see this with the kids, or did you go see this solo?
No, I went because I had to. I didn't. I was wary about, because 3 kids, it gets expensive even on the cheap days. Yeah. I like to make sure it's not going to be utter tripe first.
Yeah. Because like I said, I saw this with the kids. Neither of them loved it. Like that, they like going to the movies. They got a choc top and popcorn, but usually, I mean, like, since we saw Wicked, they're playing the soundtrack fucking constantly. Like, we woke up this morning at like 8:30 and they had just been listening to Popular and Defying Gravity on a loop, and it was so annoying. We're laying there in bed and all we hear is But Moana 2, no. In fact, on the way home, we listened to the Moana 1 soundtrack.
Well, which is, I mean, they're almost all memorable songs.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not the world's biggest Lin-Manuel Miranda fan. I think he's overrated.
Same.
But the guy can write a catchy tune.
Yeah.
Like, we recently listened to the Mary Poppins Returns soundtrack again. Great songs.
Yeah.
Not Mary Poppins the original, but still good songs, particularly the couple with It's Not a Book. Hamilton, overrated. But the first Moana, all great songs. He can write a good song. These are not only are they all tuneless shit, like they are bad. They're not just forgettable; they're bad.
Oh, the song The Rock sings is honestly atrocious.
But they are so inept. And I haven't heard the Bridgerton. They won a Grammy, but a lot of shit wins Grammys. Whatever. The most interesting thing about that is the court case against them by Netflix. But based on this, they are talentless, because not only is there not a single good catchy tune in the entire production, but they are aping the big hits of the first one.
Yeah.
The rock song is basically using the same melody from You're Welcome, but badly.
Oh, yeah.
Moana's new, I don't even know what it's called, Belong, something like that, is aping her big belter from the first one, but badly, and missing the point, and badly written and all the rest. And it's the case with all of them. The one that the big chorus one that Tamura Morrison and who's the Pussycat Doll mum, whatever. Their big chorus one is similar but not as good. It's all like it's like students doing a homage as a school play.
Yeah.
Incomprehensibly terrible.
Yeah. I just honestly, it is shocking to me how good the movie looks for how it came about and how poor everything else is. Because the animation is, of course, fantastic. It's far and away the best thing about the movie. I know that you're a huge Ali Cravalho fan.
Well, I've seen her in 3 things, and she's been the best thing in all 3 of them, which is Moana, Moana 2, and Mean Girls. Speaking of bad songs. I feel bad that she's been kind of ousted from the live-action Moana, which I predict will be utter god-awful trash
I mean, in Disney's defense, Moana is supposed to be a fairly young girl, and the original Moana was, of course, 8 years ago now. I mean, like, she's got to... Oh, look, she's still young, but she's got to be at least in her mid to late 20s now as compared to being in her teens. I'm hoping...
Yeah, she's 23, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that the only reason she's not in it is because they've cast a young teen girl in it. But, I mean, yeah, give me less.
I want to know if The Rock's going to wear an embarrassing curly wig or if Maui's going to be bald.
He's got to be wearing a wig because...
It'll be terrible either way.
Because I know that that's one thing about the production of the original Moana, which of course, because Maui is a real, Pacific Islander god type figure. And
I gather he's one of a pair and they just completely ignored the other deity.
Well, I do know that in their original designs, Maui was going to be bald, and it was deemed culturally not respectful to do that. So that's why they added the curly hair. So, I mean, there's no way that they can't have him in a stupid wig.
I will be there if he's in a stupid wig. I'll pay the ticket price just for that.
I don't need to see The Rock sing this song live. Look, if they are going to do live action, I'm hoping that for that, at least they get Lin-Manuel back, because we know they're going to add at least one song in. They do it with every live action.
Will just use the songs from the original film.
With every single live action they've done, they've added at least one song. With the live action Little Mermaid, they added 2 songs, and they were complete and utter shit. And they actually got Lin-Manuel to write those, but it just sounded nothing like...
No one has 100% hit rate.
The live action Beauty and the Beast, they added in, I want to say, 2 songs.
Hashtag better than the original.
Absolutely not. They're going to add songs in. We know they are. They've done it for every single live action one. I just hope they at least bring Lin-Manuel back so that at least the songs fit in the same world.
They will learn their lesson, because the reviews of this across the board are not only that the film itself is substandard, but that the songs are across the board terrible.
See, but here's the problem. Here's my biggest problem. And this is my fear about this movie, is that they're not going to learn any lesson, because this movie is making plenty of money. It's been out less than a week, and it's made $404 million at the box office. It's turned a profit already. They did very little marketing for this movie.
Oh, yeah.
The budget is very low.
Every kid who likes the first one is going to want to see this. It was always going to make money.
This movie,
I don't think it will make what they would potentially have thought that it could make, because word of mouth will go around.
I disagree. I reckon this movie's... Look, honestly, does it have a chance at a bill?
No.
Possibly.
I would say no chance.
Almost at $500 million already. It's been out a week.
I think it will taper very quickly, because, as you say, Mufasa's coming, and word of mouth and reviews on this across the board are that it's terrible.
I don't think people give a shit about Mufasa, because here's the thing, right? If Disney play their cards right and don't pull this out of cinemas too early, this has a very good chance at raking in holiday money. Because I don't know if you've looked at the upcoming releases, Dave. It is a shockingly bad summer. It is a bad summer season. Sorry, again, we are summer. The States are in winter. It's a bad holiday season. Kids movie-wise, there's Mufasa, there's Sonic 3, and there's Paddington 3, and that's it. If they leave this movie in theaters long enough for people to, especially down in this hemisphere, to get out of the fucking heat and get into a nice air-conditioned cinema with their kids during the fucking epic long school holidays, they've got a good chance of making a boatload of money. Because it's a bad holiday season. I don't know. It probably has to do with the strikes last year. And to be honest, maybe that's why they rushed this through, to have a kids' holiday release that they knew would be a hit.
Maybe.
But Yeah, this movie has a good chance of making plenty more money. And that's my biggest fear, is that will teach them that this is okay to do. Like,
surely there's enough brains in that stupid mouse house to see the reasons why it's made money and also look at the reviews and go, you know what? We got lucky with timing and the fact that people didn't know it was shit until they got in there. When we trot out Moana 3 in 12 months' time or whatever, when they use all the bits of the TV series that they haven't used yet.
Here's the thing. Disney, at the end of the day, is a franchise. And where they are lucky is that it is a franchise built of sub-franchises. This is not just a Moana movie. It's a Disney princess movie. And it's just a Disney movie.
One of the
jokes is that she's not a princess.
In your face. I mean, there were a few of those really obvious.
But people who love Disney really love Disney, Dave. And it's like how you didn't really love the Wicked movie, but people who are fans of that Broadway musical are absolutely adoring it. This is the same. The reviews might be bad. I bet people aren't walking out of the cinema that unhappy, honestly. Even I caught up with Topher today, and he took his kid to see it, and he honestly was like, you know what, I think my expectations were so bad that I actually didn't hate it.
If there had been no songs, or the songs had been at least mediocre, I would have had a very different experience from this.
Yeah.
But when the songs are, as they are with all of these, Tangled, etc., with all of the songs, they are almost a musical. The songs are such an integral part of it. And when the songs are so bad, every single one, I'm sitting there going, this is so shit. Can we just get through it? And then when your plot is pretty much exactly the same as the first film, it's like, why am I even sitting in this cinema?
Yeah.
This is delivering nothing.
Yeah. So how are you scoring Moana?
The most character development, because we did have a bunch of new characters, the most character development we got was from a fucking coconut. That is how bad the characterizations are. Yeah. The only moving scene, other than the Maui Moana chemistry was still there, but the most moving scene we had was Coconut Jr. cutting the rope and sacrificing them to save the big coconut ship. I was like, that is the only time I felt anything in my cold dead heart.
Yeah, yeah. So how are you scoring Moana 2?
4.
Yeah, I think I'm the same.
I started out as a 5. I'm now a 4. I've talked myself down. It's not good.
Well, next week, we might actually have to talk about what we're doing next week, mate, because the movie I had written down for us to do is Werewolves, which is supposed to be releasing tomorrow. Not a single cinema here is showing it. I don't know if your cinemas are. I don't know whether they've changed the release date.
5th of December was the first. I did go through looking at when screenings were. I have got it down as starting on the 5th. And then the week after we've got Craven, which we're going to have to talk about because you're in love with that Sony Spider-Verse.
But
but there's also is it called? It's not called the Wolf Man.
Yeah, again,
the werewolf. There's another wolf one as well.
But again, no showings here. I don't know. Are they like Netflix releases or something?
No, they've got posters up at the local ready.
Yeah, right.
Just says coming soon, but there's
because neither the Hoyts or the Dendy here are showing it.
And we should do Girl from the North Country as well because we do love Bob.
Yeah, when does that come out?
5th to the 12th as well. I've got down as
again. I swear I even saw a trailer for that one the other day, and I don't think. Hang on.
And there's and Lord of the Rings is the week after, along with Craven. There's a few things coming that are.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my cinema. So, all right. Well, next week we don't actually know what we're getting to yet. I guess we'll see, and we'll get back to you.
We'll see. Yeah, check the listener community on Facebook, and we'll put something up.
But in the meantime, if you want to get in touch with us, as Dave said, of course, go check out that Facebook listener community, sign up, join the conversations. It's a lot of fun. You can find us at pottymouthradio.com or reach out to us at pottymouthradio@gmail.com, and we will catch you next week with something. That is the We Watched a Thing guarantee.
Yep, and I guarantee it'll be better than Moana 2.
Catches.